I'm Migg, and this is my journal. Welcome. This is my house. We actually live near a busy street. On one side of us is a business. So all in all, it's a pretty nice block. We wanted to have a garden in this house, and so we have 5 garden areas. We call this garden area 1. And you can see here that we have mulch down here around the perimeter. That makes it easier to mow. It keeps the weeds from encroaching into the garden. You can see here, this was a really good idea, to put this old piece of door. It's really thin, but I just laid it here along the edge. Last year I had a lot of difficulty here with weeds, and you can see down here how the weeds have grown right up to the edge of the wood. And that's what they were like on the edge of my garden. But this year, they're 3 feet away, and it makes it easier to mow. So I mowed this area. This area was as green and weedy and tall as this area over here, but I was able to cut it with a lawnmower by running the wheels along the door. So that worked really well. Back here we have area 2. This garden area is also about 10 foot by 10 foot. And our goal is to see what things we can grow in it. It has more of a terraced plan, terraces, because it's on a hill. And so we have to work with the slope of the hill here. While area 1 is a flat area that gets a lot of midday sun, and zone 2, or area 2, is hills that get shaded by the house. Area 3 has a problem all of its own. Area 3 here doesn't get morning sun because of the big walnut tree it's under. It's shaded for most of the day. It only gets a little bit of afternoon sun. And it really had a lot of trouble with bad soil. So we've been working on it to grow things in this area. And it's done pretty well this year. We've got a tomato and cucumbers, squash. Over here, even behind the trellis, I'm trying to grow some squash, a pepper, and here's my watermelon. You can see here I've got little baby watermelons down here. This is a walnut. This is a watermelon. See, here's a squash. I have to make sure to remember to check this area. This is a nice size squash here. I have some cucumbers here. I picked a couple of them this morning, and I need to come and get these. I don't like to pick them until I'm ready to eat them, so I need to eat the ones I have. I'll do that tonight. I'll eat one, do the med one tomorrow, and then I'll be ready to pick a new batch. In the last area, area 4, we've reclaimed. This area gets very little sun. Because it's got the house on one side, it gets no morning sun at all. During part of the afternoon, the sun is directly overhead, and then the neighboring house blocks it in the afternoon. So this area gets very little sun, but that also means that it doesn't get as hot as some of the other things. I was hoping that that would be good for the tomatoes, but here you can see our tomatoes just had a terrible time. This has survived a bit, but they got just dried out. The pepper seems to be doing not so bad though. My goal for this area has been to grow the greens here. And one of the reasons is because I can look at my kitchen window and see this part of the garden here from my kitchen window. So this is the view from my kitchen window. I like being able to look and see all the things that I can come out and pick as greens. I also decided to put my little flowers here where I could see them out the window. This seed came up with the pepper, so it got to stay with the pepper. Here are some of my little moss roses. No blooms, but we'll see. These peppers are starting to grab some blooms. I've got Swiss chard and okra. I put a tent to block some of the sun because my greens were actually wilting in the afternoon sun. Even though the temperature was only about 80 degrees, they were still wilting. So I blocked a little of the sun in the hope that they will do better. You can see that we've got mulch around the plants. And then we've got some good peppers, and we'll pick some fresh parsley to go with dinner tonight. This is our other cantaloupe. Still not seeing any cantaloupe though. Oh, here we go. Here is a cantaloupe. Very nice. So I know I have at least one. Through this area under the mulberry tree, and we're back at the front yard. So this is our urban homestead. The guy, I put him here next to the strawberries, and he stayed an inch tall until I put mulch around him, and once I put mulch, the pepper plant started to grow. The fig tree had almost died back. It seemed to survive the winter, but then a cold spell killed off all of the branches, almost down to the bottom. But it put out new growth, and on the new growth was actually figs. So the captain of the house has already eaten several figs off of that. It's a nice yard. We like this. And it's different areas, different challenges for our different garden areas. It will be fun to keep a journal of what we can grow, what we can experiment with, what things do well, what things don't.